Hello friends, welcome to my channel HadoopForum. So today's session is all about the Spark. So what we have seen in the last videos, that is the Hadoop installation, and then Hadoop installation with variety of ways: standalone, cluster, cloud, etc. So if you have any confusion, just watch my previous videos. Now next we installed the Hive and how it was working with the Hadoop we have seen in the last video. Now we will go with this session with the Spark. So let's start. First of all, we will go with the Spark definition. So Hadoop is a distributed system which works on very big data. So Spark is also, you can say, extended version. So if we compare the Hadoop with 2G in the case of a speed, a Spark is 3G and so on. So you can treat it as a 4G, as a Flink. And what the Hadoop is what Hadoop works, the same with the Spark, but with the 100 times a speed. So Hadoop is made for the batch processing and Spark is made for the batch as well as the streaming part. So let's see. So this video is with the configuration and installation part, and then we'll cover most of the configuration, and we'll go with some use cases, how it works through driver to execution. So this is a very big topic. We'll try to capture at least for the novice to expert. So mainly you can have a lot of tons of the content on the internet. So I will try to put the the practical part here. Okay, so what are the challenges we face while working with the production? I don't think there are videos that is related with the handling such kind of topics. So we'll try to capture in 2 or 3 videos with the Spark. Mostly that is related with the interviews and mostly related with the production issues. Okay, so first we will go with the installation phase. So this is the official documentation of the Spark. I always say in all videos, so once you have a once you want a knowledge in any topic of IT field, you must follow first the official web page. So whatever we see in the different forums, sometimes the information is wrong and that is written by the novice person. So first what the official documentation says, we must stand on this, and then we can go with the Stack Overflow if we have a error or with versioning or so many things, right? So सबसे पहला काम हमारा होता है कि ऑफिशियल डॉक्यूमेंटेशन को आप पहले वॉच करें, इसको देखें. So this is the official documentation. So now the current release is 3.x. Even in the LinkedIn I have written a column on a long time back with all three. All three means Hadoop 3.x, Hive 3.x and Spark 3.x. In my opinion, these three components are the major factor for any of the distributed system. So if you work with the data lake, if you work with the data engineering, so these three will always come across your path. Always remember. So if you are very clear with these topics, then you will be efficient and you will easily trace the errors or so many things. And rest, it works on all these three. So whether you are working with the HBase, whether you are working with the Pig, and you are working with the data pipeline like NIFA, Airflow, whatever you work, there are so many things, but the basic, these three components are pioneer or prominent in this data engineering part, and moreover we can say in the distributed system. So let's start. So these are uh, the points I have just captured so that the videos can be in the shorter time. So this official documentation I have described. So now let's quickly go on my cloud account. So this is running now, and these two based on my previous videos. So Hadoop is working here, and Hive is working here. So let's connect with our the console. Let's check it. First make it the big font so that easily you can see it. Okay, I think it's pretty much clear. Okay, so ssh -i training.py ubuntu @ and my IP is this one 54. Just match with the current one. Yeah, this is the same. Okay, yes, and this machine is 4 core and 8 GB RAM. So let's start the Hadoop. Okay, meanwhile we can go with the next part. So if Hadoop is installed and Hive is installed, so Java must be running. These are the prerequisites. You just check it out, my previous videos. So one more thing here, it is coming like a Scala part, because some of the API and some of the frameworks it won't work in the Spark without the Scala. Java 8 is okay, and Scala is always work over the Java 8. So this is also prerequisite for the Scala 2. So we will go with the version of Spark 3.2.1 that is well tested by me. And one more thing, so whenever we work with the open source, don't blindly trust, rather you should go with the versioning so that your pipeline can be smoother, right? So I have just tested this stack. And one more thing with the Scala is so typed with the version. So let's suppose your project is like a 2.12.x and you want to and you have changed the Scala version, then 99% probability that the project will not work. So be careful once you have a Scala version, so that is not all compatible with all the version. Even if you change 2.13.7, might be you will get at some stage some error or something. It's not like a Java. Like Java, if we have a Java 8 point something, 8.1.2, and if you have upgraded to 8.3.4 something, then there is no problem most of 99% cases. But in the Scala just reverse, 99% chances it won't work. So be careful with the Scala version. And all these combination, the Hadoop versioning, the Spark versioning, Scala versioning, Hive versioning, be vigilant on this the release part, I mean the release version part. So let's first download. I have just kept here almost ready made, or if you are not happy with this copy paste, then you must go with the here. So this is for the Spark download, and this is for a Scala download. So you just go into the Google, go to the download section and just copy this part, the copy URL. I've did the same thing. So okay, so now the Hadoop is started. Now check it whether it is working or not. Yeah, it's working. Now check the Hive. Perfect. So these two are working. Prerequisite. Java is already there, so we don't check. Okay. Now we'll paste here the Scala part, and the same way we can go with the Spark part. So I have chosen 3.2.1. okay, so you can choose any version which you feel comfortable, but now the market is, or even in the managed service or everywhere, no one is using the Spark 2.x, except if you have already your production is running in the previous version. So either they are running just because of their problems, or they are planning to migrate into the 3.x version. Okay, so now we will download the Spark 2. So this is bundle. Okay, so there are so many things in the Spark we can do it, and so interesting topic. So let's go with one by one. I will capture all those concepts in the Spark in the another video, but this video is only for the configuration and checking the Spark whether it's working or not. So in nutshell, this is for installation purpose only. Let's just do it and just untar. Scala, and the same way we can do it with the Apache Spark. Okay, so now we have a Scala 3 2.13.8. Ideally, for the tutorial purpose, I just kept in the home folder, but usually we keep it in the user local or somewhere, some other else. Just remove the rm scala.tgz. Okay, so go with the class path setting. So vi src, sorry, this is hidden file, so let's start with the dot. So vi bash.rc. okay, so already you have seen in my previous videos that the Java setted in the class path, then Hadoop, then high, and below that we will set these two, the Scala and high. The purpose of this one is to you can work from anywhere on the prompt, so there is no required to go with the respective folder and then bin and then error executing. Okay, so we will copy, just paste. So we will rename this file. So meanwhile we can just copy this one. So just double check, all this is Spark home and this is Scala home. Okay, perfect. So now this is done. Okay, and yeah, so rename it this part, just remove rm spark.tgz. okay. Now move a Spark to, so just remove this one, we don't need it. Spark 3.2.1. okay, now go to the CD Spark. So just check the Scala, because we have done the vi.bashrc. so take effect, just do source dot bashrc. So perfect. If we have any problem in the bashrc, then probably it will give error. If it doesn't split anything, it means the base RC is set it. So we can check it the Scala type, Scala only. Perfect. So Scala is working. Then Control D. Let's just go with the Spark. Okay, ls, and go with the configuration. Okay, so you can see a lot of files here. So first we will these are the templates, so don't touch these templates, rather just copy and rename it. So cp spark environment template, enter, and another is a Spark default configuration. So cp spark default spark default yes. So that's it. Even if you want to create the template, so anyhow we are not going with scheduling anything job here, rather you should go with the log4j and fair scheduler. We can do it, but for basic purpose we need these two files. Now we will go with the vi spark default configuration. So you can see here these are the lines. Okay, so a word of caution for those people who are working on the virtual machine VM or not the Docker side VM. So be careful, you must have at least 16 GB of RAM, because most of the resources that is consumed by the VM. So be careful. I have seen so many cases where the entire laptop has 8 GB RAM and 4 core or 5 core or 7 core. Even single Spark job was not working in the VM, and if it works then it's very slow, very irritating. So be careful, either you should install directly on your machine, or you should have a very good configuration, at least 16 GB RAM, then it will work, and with configuration. So first of all, there are two phases. We have done with all these things. Now, so there are two phases. So first is the standalone. So for the standalone, we don't need to do anything here, nothing. So we are just escaping here. So we will see the two phases. This is a standalone Spark you can work with. Okay, and Hadoop is running. So there is no need of Hadoop here, although it's running, it's fine, but only we will start the Spark. Okay, so always remember, so there are two files, start.all.sh that is associated with the Hadoop, and start.all.sh that is associated with the Spark 2. So don't do, because already start.all is we have started with the Hadoop. So we should go with the cd and sbin ls, and you can see the script, all start, stop, slaves, all this. You can just go by one by one, or you can just follow the official document. There is nothing rocket science here. Anyone can read any document here. I will just start the Spark. Start all.sh. So Spark will start, and once it will start, then we can see the GPS. So you can see it. So the two daemons has added the worker and master. So this represents the Spark part, but there is no tie-up with the Hadoop and Spark. This is a standalone. Although Hadoop is running, it's okay, I can shut it down, but there is no relation between here Hadoop. So there is no cloud manager, sorry, there is no a Spark manager here who can see the cluster. Okay, come to the cloud part, and it runs on 8080, correct? So let's change the security part, and can we see is this port is enabled? No. So we will just add one more port here, edit inbound rules, and just add a rule. So this is 8080, and go with the, for now we are not restricting, so okay, save the rules. Okay, now we can check it out whether it's working. So all these are done. We can go with just check it out whether it's working or not. Perfect. So your Spark is started here. Okay, so this is first phase. Now second thing I will test here. So there are 4 things you have to work with the Spark. So let's do one by one. Big data and the Spark, yeah, this one. Okay, somewhere it is written, but I just want to test whether the PySpark is working or not. So just type here PySpark. Yeah, so it's working. Okay, and then check a Spark cell. So this is associated with your Scala. So first was you can directly start with the Python, and second the Spark cell, that is for your Scala part. So here you can see it, the Scala prompt. So without a Scala installation you cannot. Okay, and the third is a Spark SQL. If you remember, if you have watched my previous video, the Hive installation, I told you that Hive is the gateway for the Spark. So the Hive site.xml must present in the Spark site. So if you go with the Spark SQL, it won't work, or might be it will give error. Let's check. If it is working, then well and good. So you can see it. So there are so many things it will come. So we will capture it in the next video. So now we will focus the last part of this session is integration with the Hadoop. Okay, so let's stop the Control C. Okay, stop all .sh. This is stop now. Now go with the configuration. Okay, ls. So vi, okay, let's just check one part, vi spark environment .sh. So here you can see so many things you must be mentioned here, so many things you can configure, but for now I am leaving. Only thing we can put here, that is the there is a configuration folder, yeah, config. So if you go with the Spark environment, so generally we keep it like this one. Okay, these parameters. So if you put here, then well and good. So we are going to put there. So just put here. So now a Scala home is this one. Control-C. Because this is a single node, so a Spark master is okay. Localhost, I mean 127.0. This is your choice. So all this okay. Or you can give the IP of the machine. If you watch the 8088, the ARM cluster, it will be blank because that is not integrated with the Hadoop. So you can just test it with this IP on yarn port 8088. So this would be the blank. Otherwise, if you have typed the Scala Shell, Scala PySpark, Spark SQL, these jobs must be lined up in the yarn side. You can see it's a blank, nothing. But once we will configure with the Hadoop, then you can see it, all this will be lined up here. Okay, so one part is done. Now we will go again with the VI and a Spark default. Okay, and here you can see it, the Spark master. So this will be changed. Okay, rest of the things you can just event log directory SDFS, you can keep it, and rest will be unchanged if you are working with the Spark serializer. So this will capture in the another video. And memory is the 5G, and these parameters. So mostly we will change the Spark master part. Okay, and this I will change with the Spark yarn. Okay, so you can see it here. So a Spark master, see the compare is a Spark master when it was the standalone, it was commented only. So by default it was working. Now so now we will go with just copy paste this one. Okay, if you want to work with the history server, then you can keep it here, or otherwise just leave it alone. So what we will do, the same copy paste. So here you can see that there is difference. This was commented earlier. If you tie up with the Hadoop, then the yarn will come here. That's all. And one more thing, so there must be some folder here for the directory in the Hadoop side. So let's create it. First copy paste and then we will create it. So yeah, these lines, the same lines we are just copying with modified. Oh, perfect. So you can just compare it, nothing we have changed, just change the event log directory that is in Hadoop side. So there are two ways to write this one. You can just write HDFS colon and then / and a Spark. So in the core side XML we have already mentioned this one. So there are two ways, either HDFS colon / a Spark or the complete path. Choice is yours. Okay, and yes, so we have not made, so just type here Hadoop fs -ls, not ls, mkdir, and the Spark. That's all. So we have just created a Spark folder. Now go to the sbin and type the go to the sbin and type the start all.sbin, start all.sh. just do the JPS again, just check the, yeah, so all these dimensions are working. So 7 dimensions, right, except JPS. 5 is from the Hadoop and 2 is from the Spark. So now just type the PySpark and now check the yarn part. Yeah, you can see it. So PySpark cell succeeded, it's running, accepted, and endpoint. You can see it. So now it's tie up with the Hadoop. So you can submit any job on this single node cluster, okay, and it's working. The same thing, I think some error was coming, so we can check it out. What error is coming? Connection reset by peer. So what is that? There is problem with the Hive Metastore DB tag. No, Hive, there is no issue of Hive. So current usage is itna MB of 1 GB physical memory used. Okay, we'll see later. Null pointer exception. Okay, we'll see it later, but now you can see it that it is integrated with the Hadoop. Okay, now check with the Spark cell as well. So there would be another job that will be line up with the yarn. Yeah, you can see the PySpark. So better it to go with the, so just I'm doing the Control C. This is done with the Spark part. That is easier than the Hadoop. Once you have a Hadoop installation, then rest of the components it will be easier. So Control C. Okay, now CD Spark. Oh, sorry, BR logout. So let's CD go with the Hive and ls. Sorry, CD ls configuration. We have a Hive site.xml. So CD dot Spark ls and we have to keep the Hive site.xml. cnf ls. So I think, yeah, so we can copy here. So pwd is this one. We will copy this one and keep the Hive site.xml here, and then we can check with the Spark SQL and rest of the thing like PySpark and Spark cell. Okay, so go with the CD dot CD Hive conf ls, copy Hive site.xml to here. Okay, configuration CD Yasmin. Let's stop one more time and then restart. .sh. Okay, so then go with the PySpark now. if it is giving error or it will give the console, because we have just copied the hypesite.xml. So whatever the parameters it is required, it will automatically pick up from there. Okay. And if we don't resolve it, then we can follow this one. Yeah, because we have configured with the 8080, so that is for the client. So here we can go with the installation part. Also you can follow this one, PySpark. Okay, Spark streaming, all this documentation they have given. So I think there is a issue with the earlier it was working Python. Okay, Python 3. So I think there is a issue with the class path of the Python, so that is not a big deal. Okay, so I think I have captured all this. So yeah, thanks all for watching my video. So this is all about the Spark and standalone and a Spark with the Hadoop. Thanks. We'll meet in the next video.